Hi friends, thank you for being here with me today. So we've got an all levels yoga practice this morning, and I always like to have props available. You may not need them, but it's always good to have them readily available if you do. So I like to grab at least one block and then a blanket. So starting in our comfortable seat, I like to lift my hips up on a blanket as I'm sitting. So we hold a lot of stress and tension in our bodies. Our hips are one of those main areas where we hold on to that stress and tension. So lifting hips up on a blanket or a block helps to open them. And we can just loosely cross our legs here, maybe take a half lotus position, bringing that foot in a little bit closer. Whatever feels comfortable for you, just focus on anchoring down through your sits bones and lengthening through the crown of your head, lifting up. Relax your neck and your shoulders. So Sushumna Nadi is a main energy channel in our bodies, and we want to be able to sit up nice and tall so that our breath can flow freely through that energy channel. You can have your palms down to feel more grounded, palms up to feel more energized, and just taking a minute here to close your eyes and bring your focus inward. Our yoga practice is an internal focus and practice where we let go of the stress, busyness, and the stimulation from our external world and tune into our internal world. So notice, how do you feel in your physical body this morning? Are there any areas of tension or tightness? How are you feeling in your mental and emotional bodies? Just observing your thoughts and feelings. And then bringing awareness to our breath. Prana is our life force, our energy. And we are nourishing our life force as we focus on our breath. Notice, does it feel challenging to take a deep breath in? Notice where you are feeling your breath in your body. Feel your belly expand. Feel your rib cage and your lungs expand. Feel your collarbones lift. And as you exhale, collarbones descend, ribs close in, pulling your navel to your spine. Feel pulling it in and slightly up, activating Uddiyana Bandha. And we want to maintain this full three-part breath, our Durga breath, throughout our practice today. As we set our intention, Sankalpa, think of what it is that brings you to the mat today, what you would like to get out of this practice. Whatever your intention is, setting it now, saying it to yourself 3 times. If you have one leg crossed in front of the other, switching sides or just finding a different comfortable seat as we take a few more minutes here in Sukhasana in our easy pose. So connecting our movement to our breath, inhale, sweeping arms up overhead, and then exhale, pressing away. Feel energy as you move through your arms and your hands. Meditation is a part of our yoga practice, and we are doing meditation in movement. So we focus on our breath leading our movement. So taking a few more rounds here, inhaling happiness, health, peace, all of the things we want to bring into our lives. And as you exhale, picture releasing anything negative, anything that is not serving to you, anything you'd like to let go of. One more full inhale, full exhale. Next inhale lifts us up. And then over to the side, relax your neck and your shoulders, taking your gaze underneath of your arm. And then look down at your hands. And then looking back up. Inhale lifts us up. And then exhale over to the side. Again, relax your neck and your shoulders, looking up. And then looking down. And then looking up. Inhale, reach. Taking a gentle twist as we split our hands. One hand can come to your knee, One hand can reach for the mat behind you. Keep lengthening in your spine, in your breath, taking your gaze over your shoulder. Inhale, lifting up, and then exhale over to the other side. Inhale, reaching up. Let's circle our hands and our wrists, interlacing them behind your back or reaching for your elbows. Inhale, heart lifts. And exhale, hinging forward, taking this wherever feels good for you. Inhale, lifting up, sweeping arms up overhead, bringing our hands to our heart, pausing here in Anjali Mudra, feeling energy as we press our hands to our heart, coming into our heart space, again thinking of your intention. Making our way into our table, onto our hands and our knees. I always like to do a little bit of work in our tabletop. It is strengthening in our core, helping with our spinal balance. So maybe using that blanket underneath of your knees if that feels okay for you. And have your weight spread evenly through your hands so that your weight is evenly distributed. Your shoulders are over your wrists and your knees are underneath of your hips. As you lengthen in your spine, engaging bandhas, Mula Bandha, lifting up through pelvic floor, Uddiyana Bandha, pulling navel to spine. Extend your right leg straight back. Toes are on the mat at first. Press your heel back. So just getting a nice stretch through your calf, through the back of your leg, and then reaching left arm out in front. You can stay right here, or maybe bring that right leg up. Taking hand and foot, opposite directions. Coming back to center, lifting up, looking up, and then release your hand, take your leg, cross it over, looking in the direction of your foot. And coming back to our table as you take your gaze over the opposite shoulder. And back to our neutral spine, switching sides as you extend your left leg straight back, toes are on the mat, reaching right arm out in front, relax your neck and your shoulders. And then you can lift that leg up if you'd like. Taking hand and foot, opposite directions. Coming back to center, lifting up, looking up. Release your hand, take your leg, cross it over as you look in the direction of your foot. Back to our neutral spine, taking your gaze over your left shoulder. Shifting your weight forward into our kneeling plank. Elbows hug in, whether it's a lot or a little. And then pressing back into our child's pose. You'll take a cat back as you wave up through that kneeling plank. Elbows hug in, and then back into child's pose. So just doing this a few times with your breath at your pace. We're continuing to warm up our spine here in Chaturanga, building some strength in our upper body, preparing for our Chaturanga flow. So just take another round or two. Really exaggerate your cat back as you wave up through that kneeling plank, so stretching in your upper back and shoulders. And then we'll all meet in our child's pose in Balasana. So maybe big toes touch and knees come to the edges of the mat as you send your hips back to your heels, walking your hands out in front. Maybe you have your knees closer together and arms by your side. Or maybe taking puppy pose where our toes are tucked under and hips are lifted a little bit higher here. So I like to go through different options of our child's pose, since child's pose is our resting pose that we can come to at any time. You do want this pose to feel restful. So relax your neck and your shoulders. You want to let your forehead center come right to the mat. If it doesn't reach the mat, you can bring it to the block or even stacking your hands. So wherever we are here, breathing deeply. Feel your belly expand. Feel your rib cage and your lungs expand. Feel your breath as it travels across the backside of your body. So know you can come here at any time throughout our practice. I'm just taking another breath or two. Let your forehead center feel heavy as it sinks into the mat, and picture releasing any worries, fears, anxieties, the to-do list, whatever it is, just leaving those things on the mat for now. Let's take one more full inhale, full exhale. And walking your hands over to the right, gently press that left hip away. And then walking hands back through center and over to the other side. And coming back through center, we make our way into our table. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees an inch or two off of the mat, and then back down. Do this a few times, just building some tapas, some heat, feeling that strength in your core. And when you're ready, lifting hips up, downward facing dog. So pedaling your heels into the mat as you move side to side. Maybe shake your head, yes and no. Just finding whatever movement feels good for you. Remembering that downward dog eventually is supposed to be a resting pose as well. So striving for that balance between effort and ease, sthira and sukha. Lifting up onto your toes, and then send your weight forward into your plank or your kneeling plank. Lifting hips up, down dog. So just flow through here with your breath at your pace. Remembering that you can take that kneeling plank and child's pose in between. If you want to add a little more, maybe taking a 3-leg down dog, you can add that push-up, so your choice. Just remembering our yoga practice is a personal practice, so make this practice your own. Do what feels good for your body today. So we'll take one more round here, wherever we are. And then let's all meet in our plank or our kneeling plank. Elbows hug in, lower one piece all the way down to the mat. Let everything go. Just take your hands, stacking your hands, deep breath. And then lifting up onto your forearms. Lengthen your low back. Inhale, lift up through the crown of your head. Exhale, reaching forward and then back down. Doing that 2 more times. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, down. One more here. Coming into our cobra, keep a soft bend in your arms. And then we'll lower down. Coming up and into our downward facing dog. Take 3 deep breaths here. Maybe a little bit of an open mouth exhale or lion's breath. And once you've taken those 3 deep breaths, coming into our forward fold, Uttanasana. So letting your head hang heavy, arms hang heavy. Maybe a little sway side to side or circling your hands and your wrists. Maybe using that block, bringing the earth a little bit closer to you. And let's bend both legs, bring your chest towards your thighs, and then straighten. Again, bending both legs and straighten. One more time, bend both legs, hands to our heart, sitting back in our chair. So feet are parallel, knees and thighs are parallel, and then you can reach your arms out in front, flowing with our breath a few times. Inhale, lifting up, and then exhale, sit back into that chair. Just let your breath guide your movement. If this feels like a lot moving through your arms and your shoulders, you can always keep your hands to your heart. So we'll do one more. Meeting in Utkatasana in our chair pose. Bringing our hands to our heart, let's take a mini twist. Knees are level, hips are level. Come back to center, mini twist. And back to center. Now taking that twist a little bit further outside of your elbow to the outside of your knee. You could always reach for the block or the mat. Maybe splitting your hands, taking that half bind, full bind, any variation. Just breathe deeply, cleansing our bodies in our twists, helping our circulation and our digestion. Let's come back to center, straighten your legs, and then bend and take that twist to the other side. Whatever variation we're in, just keeping our knees level, hips level, breathing deeply. And then coming back to center, straighten your legs, reach for elbows, gentle rock. And then release your hands. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Again, inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. One more time. And then slowly rolling up. We're meeting in Tadasana in our mountain pose. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive. And hands to our heart. Let's take 2 more rounds. Full inhale, full exhale. One breath, one movement. And then next round, adding on meeting in our downward facing dog. So you can step right back into down dog or flow through chaturanga. So if you're taking that chaturanga flow, stepping back into our plank or our kneeling plank, elbows hug in, lowering down, cobra or up dog, and then meeting in our down dog. So knowing that that chaturanga flow can be added in or left out at any time. Let's take our right leg to the sky once we get there. Move through your plank and then stepping right foot through, left heel plants, coming into our warrior one. So warrior one, hips are square to the front of the mat, energy through your back foot and leg, lifting up. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, goal post arms. Let's do 2 more. And then meeting in our warrior one, take your temple mudra. So bringing our hands here, temple mudra, lifting up. Take a side body stretch. Coming back up through center and over to the other side. And then release, interlace your hands behind your back or reach for your elbows. Inhale, heart lifts. And then coming into our humble warrior. Coming back up through our warrior one. And then opening up into warrior two. So as we come into warrior two, our hips are facing the side wall. Reaching arms out, relax your neck and your shoulders. External rotation in our thigh, protecting our knee. Let's reach forward and then reverse. So taking that left hand to your leg or maybe half bind around your low back. And then making our way Down into our low lunge. That left heel comes off of the mat. You can stay right here. You can add right arm up, or maybe taking your side plank, kneeling side plank, any variation. And then meeting in our downward facing dog. So again, flowing through chaturanga or coming right there. Remembering child's pose is always available to you. Taking our left leg to the sky, straight back, foot is flexed, hips are square. So strong in our 3-leg down dog. Moving through our plank, pausing, and then stepping left foot through, right heel plants. So adjusting however we need to, hips square to the front of the mat, warrior 1. Relax your neck and your shoulders, lengthen your low back. Just feeling we are strong and powerful warriors. Inhale, straighten your front leg, exhale, goal post arms. 2 more. And then taking our temple mudra as we lift up and back slightly, and then over to the side. And coming back up through center, other side. Interlacing hands behind your back or reaching for elbows. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, hinging forward, humble warrior. And just breathe deeply here. This can be an intense pose, but is a really good one for us. In our hips, our back, our shoulders, so breathing. Coming back up through our warrior 1, and then opening up into warrior 2. So maybe stepping feet a little bit further, hips facing the side wall. External rotation, so your knee is tracking over first and second, or second and third toe. So we reach forward and reverse. So bringing that hand to your leg or maybe half bind. And then cartwheeling hands down to the mat. Pause here in your low lunge. So right heel comes up, staying here. Left arm can come up, maybe adding your side plank. And then meeting in our downward facing dog. A couple of deep breaths here. And maybe taking that lion's breath or open mouth exhale. And then walking or hopping feet forward to your hands, hanging here in our forward fold, soft bend in your legs. You can lift your feet up, stepping on your hands, trying to bring your toes to meet your wrists. And then slowly release, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Pausing in Tadasana in our mountain pose. Maybe closing your eyes. And just picture what it is that you see on top of your mountain today. So taking our tree pose for a little balance here. Transfer your weight over into one foot. Feel rooting down through your foot and leg. Core is engaged. Find your drishti, your focal point. And then we can start with just taking that foot out and in a couple of times, establishing your balance. And then opening up your knee. Toes can stay here on the mat. Again, external rotation in your thigh, your hip. If you want to place your foot higher above or below your knees, avoid pressing directly on your knee. Hands can stay at heart center or maybe growing our branches, reaching up and out, wherever we are here, focusing on our breath. The steadier our breath is, the steadier our balance will be. And then bringing that knee in, hug it in if you can, maybe circle your foot in your ankle. And if you'd like to add, so whichever knee you have lifted, taking that same arm back. Good, and then we can release, shake it out. Maybe grab some water. And then setting up for the other side. So transfer your weight over, feel rooting down through your foot and your leg. Core is engaged. Find your drishti. Hands to our heart, and start with taking that foot out and in a few times. Opening up your knee and your hip. Again, any variation. Steadier our breath is, the steadier our balance will be. And we are getting the benefits from working on our balance no matter where we are. One day is better than another, one side different than the next. So no judgments, no attachments. Hugging that foot in, maybe circle your leg, your foot and ankle, and then reaching your arm back if you'd like to add a little bit. And release, shake it out. Meeting in our downward facing dog. So coming right there or flowing through. Maybe adding a hop. Right leg to the sky, straight back. Bend at your knee, kick your heel back. If you'd like to flip, you can flip, lifting hips up. And if we're flipped, let's unflip and meet in our pigeon. So pigeon pose can be an intense pose, but again, another really good one for our hips and our back. So having our props available, we can use blocks underneath of our hands or our hips, or using the blankets. And if this is not feeling good for you, taking our reclined pigeon, where we're lying down on our back, doing the same thing. Just making sure that your hips are square to the mat, that front foot is flexed if possible, front leg square to the mat. Inhale as you lengthen, creating some space, and exhale, just walking your hands out in front of you. Again, wherever you reach here, we want to try to let go as much as possible so we can take our head to the block and try to just breathe. I am breathing in and I am breathing out. Slowly walking your hands up, looking up, maybe looking in the direction of your foot or reaching for your foot if that feels okay for you. And then meeting in our downward facing dog. Again, flowing through chaturanga or coming right there. Your choice. Taking our left leg to the sky. And then bend at your knee, kick your heel back, open up that left hip and side. If you flipped on the other side, flipping here, pressing hips up. And then we'll all meet in our pigeon. So left ankle to your right wrist, and use those props to support you. One side may be different than the other. So taking a look at our alignment, our back leg is straight. Inhale, lengthening, and exhale, releasing and letting go. So we let go of all that stress and tension that we're holding on to in our bodies. Inhaling peace, exhaling any worry or anxiety. Taking another breath or two here as we slowly start to come up, walking your hands up, looking up, maybe looking in the direction of your foot or reaching for your foot. And then we can release and bring our legs around in front of us. Soles of our feet together, coming into Baddha Konasana, bound angle. So rocking a little bit here. And then feel where your sits bones connect to the earth, anchor down, lengthen in your spine, inhale and exhale, hinging forward, flat back as long as you can, maybe gently pressing elbows into your legs, encouraging your hips to open up. Again, we can use our props here, letting your forehead rest, or maybe stacking your hands. As we breathe and try to let go, remembering that forward folds are calming to our bodies and our minds. And then slowly coming up. Let's take our right leg, give it a little rock. And then crossing that leg over, you can keep your knee high. You can extend that bottom leg down, or if it feels okay for you, maybe stacking your knees. So any variation, again, root down through your sits bones, lengthen in your spine. Inhale, and then exhale, twisting in the direction of your top leg. So taking that twist, and keep lengthening in your spine, staying nice and tall through that spine. And then coming back through center, taking a counter pose to the opposite side. And then back to center as we switch sides. So taking your leg, give it a little rock, so releasing in your hip. And then as you cross your leg over, one side may be different than the other. So either keeping that knee lifted up higher, extending your bottom leg, or if it feels okay for you, to stack your knees here. So inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twisting in the direction of your top leg. It's often hard to keep the length in our breath as we're twisting, so keeping that full inhale and full exhale. And then coming back through center, counter pose to the other side. And then we'll release, bringing your legs in front, balancing in Shavasana in our boat pose. So you can keep your toes right here on the mat. If you have your blocks and you want to add a little bit more, you can take that block between your hands or your knees. So whatever variation we're in, just keep lengthening in your spine, stay lifted through your heart. If you want to add legs up, arms out, your choice. Maybe a twist, maybe legs in and out. Just building that strength in our solar plexus chakra, in our powerhouse. So taking one more breath here wherever we are, and then let's release. Inhale, hips up, reverse table. Exhale, down. Again, inhale, lifting hips up. We'll do that one more time. Coming into Dandasana, our staff pose. So our feet are flexed, our legs are engaged, our core is engaged. Inhale, reach. And as you fold forward here, let your hands fall to your legs, your feet, maybe using the strap or something to assist you here. And then slowly release all the way down to the mat. One vertebrae at a time. Feel scooping your belly, pull your navel to your spine. We'll take a nice big whole body stretch once we get there. So reaching from your fingers to your toes, and then hugging knees into your chest. Maybe circle your knees 3 or 4 times in each direction. A little massage for our back and our hips. And then placing your feet on the mat, lifting hips up into our bridge pose. Feet are parallel, ankles are tracking underneath of your knees. Keeping hips lifted, let's lift our heels. Release your heels, release your hips. Let's do that again. Inhale, hips up, heels up. Release your heels, release your hips. One more time. And then hugging knees in. We can reach for our feet, rocking in happy baby, Ananda Balasana. And then taking your arms out in a T, dropping your knees over to one side. You can add your hand as an assist, or maybe take your gaze over your shoulder. And coming back up, and then over to the other side. And cleansing our bodies in our twists. Maybe think of 3 things that you'd like to cleanse from your body, from your mind, from your life, as you release and let go of whatever it is that is not serving to you. And coming back to center, hug your knees into your chest one more time, and then take one more inversion. So maybe using the block for a supported bridge pose, placing the block at your sacrum, at your tailbone. If you want to add legs up, if you have shoulder stand or any other inversion in your practice, taking this time to do that. All of our inversions help to reduce stress, anxiety, depression. They help to relieve headaches, improve our sleep, and boost our immunity. So many benefits to those inversions. And then take whatever other stretches, movements, adjustments, whatever you need before settling into our final relaxation. I will guide you through a little bit of that Shavasana. So as you're ready, just finding stillness. You can let your feet fall to the edges of the mat. Arms can come out by your sides, about a foot out from your body, palms up, open, and receiving all the benefits of the work in our practice today. Shavasana is the most important part of our practice, where our bodies and our minds can fully restore and renew, soaking up all the benefits of our work today. And just notice, how are you feeling in your physical body now versus when we first began? Are you still holding on to any tension or tightness? Let your feet and legs feel heavy, it's relaxing, no effort, no work. Let your stomach, back, hips melt into the mat, melting into the earth. Feel that you are safe, you are supported, you are secure. Relax your hands, your arms, your neck and shoulders. Just letting everything go. Soften your jaw. Relax your mouth and your tongue. Let your eyes sink back into their sockets. Do you notice any shift in your mental and emotional bodies since first beginning your practice? Maybe thinking of your intention that you had set. Carry this intention with you as you go out into the rest of your day, to the rest of your week, and into the new month ahead of us. And just notice that as we strive for this stillness in our bodies and to silence the chatter of our minds, we can never completely turn our minds off. Allow those thoughts as they wander through, but let them go. Maybe picturing those thoughts as clouds, big white fluffy clouds floating by in the sky. Or maybe picturing those thoughts as waves, hearing the sound of the ocean waves with each inhale and each exhale, letting the wave of breath wash over your body. Just taking another couple of deep breaths here. And as you feel ready to bring some movement and awareness back into your bodies, wiggling your fingers and your toes, circling your wrists and your ankles, and then just slowly coming up to your comfortable seat. So we bring our hands to our heart, feeling love and gratitude for taking the time to honor and nourish our body, mind, and spirit today. Thank you for being here with me and letting me guide your practice. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for being here with me today, and I hope to do more videos until we can be together in the studio again. So please let me know if there's something that you would like to see, and have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.